Hello Sunshine! In this video we're gonna give you model answers for collecting things. IELTS Speaking Part 1 topic. I'm Maria.
And my name is Rory, and we're here to help you with IELTS speaking and have fun along the way.
In the first part of the video we give you the answers to the exam questions. But in the second part, in the fun part, we crack jokes, discuss the vocabulary, so be with us till the very end.
We also have premium episodes for IELTS Speaking Part 2 and 3. You can access the link to those in the description below.
Please press that like button, subscribe, and write your answers in the comments, okay?
Like the smash button.
So collecting things is a fresh IELTS speaking topic, an interesting topic. Roy, do you like it?
No, I hate it. I hate this. I prefer sitting to collecting things.
You do prefer sitting, don't you, huh?
It's less work, to be honest.
Really? Aww. Anyway, are you ready to talk about collecting things?
I have collected my thoughts.
Nice. So, let's talk about collecting things. Do you collect things?
I used to collect these Micro Machine toys a while back. That was when I was a child. They had them for all kinds of fictional and real military units, and I suppose civilian ones as well, actually. Aside from that and the sort of library of books I have, I also have this assortment of different things I've picked up over the years. It's not exactly systematized or anything, nor was there any forethought to it, but I definitely have collected stuff.
Are there any things you keep from childhood?
Aside from the keepsakes I talked about before, I don't really have anything, but my parents do. It's actually quite extensive. It goes from, or it includes old school books to work, to things I made outside of school. I think I should probably take more of an interest in it, but I haven't had the time lately.
Where do you usually keep things you collect?
I've got a memory box for my own stuff. It's not very big, but there's about 20 years worth of, not collectibles. There's about 20 years worth of assorted bits and pieces in there. It started overflowing recently, though, so I have this old shooting trophy that I put things in. However, that's also overcrowded and is due for a clear out, I think.
Would you keep old things for a long time?
I think that will depend on what exactly the items are. There's no sense in keeping things that are falling apart and useless, unless they could be recycled, for example. I like holding on to old books, though, since sometimes I like to reread them, and I guess the same goes for old video games.
What are the benefits of collecting things?
Well, it gives you something to share with other people, like in terms of being conversation pieces. And I think if you've got them arranged in the right way, then it can add some character to your own interior design.
So, collecting things. Collecting things is pretty much about a hobby. Yeah, we're talking about hobbies. So, collecting as a hobby. So, what can people collect?
People can collect anything they like.
Anything.
To be honest with you, I talked about it in terms of just collections of things I have for a purpose. I don't do it because it's a hobby. I just do it because it helps me remember things more clearly. But it's still about collecting things.
Have you ever collected things like as a hobby, like a collection of stamps, vintage kitchenware?
Well, I did in the past, but I don't anymore. So I said I used to collect things.
So Rory said, I used to collect these Micro Machine toys. Micro Machine? This is mini cars?
They are cars, but they also had things like spaceships and planes and tanks. It was really cool, actually. I think you can still buy them.
Sweet. Yeah, so you can say, I used to collect stamps, or, again, even if you didn't collect anything, you can say, oh yeah, when I was a child, I used to collect, and then toys, Star Wars stuff, Harry Potter things, because people collect anything these days. Again, like cutting boards, the boards where you cut bread or vegetables. Yeah, and what are the collectibles? So we collect things, and we have this word, a collectible.
It usually means an item that's specifically designed for collecting, or something that has become it could be collected. Now, it's a collector's item, which just means that it's something that people who are interested in the subject collect in order to build up their collection as part of their hobby based around this particular subject. It's very complicated, collecting as a hobby.
If I'm crazy about Harry Potter and I'm collecting Harry Potter items, are these items collectibles?
If they're connected to Harry Potter, then yes.
Yeah. So all the items are connected to Harry Potter, and some of them are really expensive and really unique, so you can call them collectibles.
I like that expression, like, really unique.
Unique, yeah. Unique.
No, really, really unique. Vanya's sending us messages telling us to talk about NFTs and things that people collect online. Oh, an NFT.
We can also collect autographs, tattoos, we can collect whiskey bottles, we can collect perfume, matchboxes, stamps. Well, stamps and coins, these are boring. So yeah, I'd say collect tattoos and autographs. That's something, exciting.
Can you collect tattoos?
Oh yeah, tattoos,
You collect pieces of people's skin with tattoos on them?
No, you collect tattoos on your body. Some people do collect tattoos.
No, that's just having. I don't think people call it a collection. Well, they might if they're being, how best to describe it, if they're being surreal or irreverent.
It would be like, the examiner goes, do you collect things? Yes, I collect tattoos. And then you kind of show like, oh, look.
Have you seen my Mafia tattoos? Give me by Band 9, and I will not have to get the Mafia involved.
Then we can say that I have this assortment of different things. So the assortment of things, I have different things, right? And you pick up different things over the years. So Rory said that I have this assortment of different things I've picked up during the years. So, like Rory picked up things over the years. Also, these things, you can say that they are bits and pieces, right? And Rory, you said like assorted bits and pieces. What did you mean by assorted?
It just means it's a random collection of items. There's no, other than helping me remember parts of my life more clearly, there's no other purpose behind them at all. So it's an assortment, it's random, and bits and pieces. It is literally just, sometimes it is bits of stuff. Like, I've got I have a shotgun shell because I went shooting. And that's random because the next thing I picked up was there was a keychain that one of my students made. So
you collect these, things which have emotional value to you, right?
Or sentimental value, yes.
Sentimental value, right? So Rory is emotionally attached to certain objects and they have a sentimental value, so Rory collects these things, right? But dear listener or viewer, lovely person, you can just collect something as a hobby, right? Yeah. And you can keep all these things in a memory box, right? And Rory, you said that I have a memory box for my own stuff with assorted bits and pieces I've picked up over the years. And this memory box is overflowing.
But sometimes, I'm just talking about myself here based on my own experience, but some people collect stamps and they have special stamp collecting books for that. Some people collect butterflies, and there is a name for that, and I've completely forgotten what it is, but they have special display cases for this as well. Do not collect the butterflies, it is cruel.
My father did that.
He is a cruel man to butterflies. How would you like it if someone picked you up and stabbed you with a needle? You would not like that.
So, if your collection is arranged in a nice way, you can say that these arranged things could add to the interior or to the design of your house, to the interior design. So, yeah. So we arrange our collections in a nice way. Rory, you said something like keepsakes. What did you mean by keepsakes?
Just random things that you keep in order to remember something. So you keep it for the sake of having it to remember something.
And then if you collect different random bits and pieces from your life, you can have a trophy in your memory box. So a trophy is like a cup or like a trophy, something like that.
Well, you could have it in your memory box, or you could have it on display, which is not an expression I use, but it is kind of, it is relevant to the purpose of collecting things because you show off your collections, usually.
And then they could be a nice conversation piece, you said? Conversation piece.
Yeah, a conversation piece is just exactly what it sounds like. It's something designed to make conversations happen.
So if I collect tattoos on my body, so my tattoos are like a nice conversation piece, so people talk about...
You're determined to get tattoos into this video.
No, it's such a nice, kind of interesting idea. Like, I collect tattoos. But also, guys, you can collect things, like objects, but like this, for example. Yeah, I enjoy collecting the, the stones and the little shells. I'm crazy about them. It's so cute, right? So like physical objects, right? But you can also collect ideas. You can collect experiences, and you can talk about this. So I prefer to collect ideas or experiences, or some people collect places they visited.
Absolutely.
What do you think of that?
I would always think like collections are of physical things, but you can collect non-physical things. I just think maybe it's better to say that you collect tattoo designs, because collecting tattoos does sound like you're just going around cutting bits off people.
I collect tattoos. Yeah, give me a tattoo. Just give me that. I like holding on to old books. I like holding on to shells. So when you hold on to something, what do? You
just keep it. It's the same as keeping... Well, no, it's not exactly that, but it has the same function as keep something.
And also, Rory, if I say, for example, I'm a bit of a hoarder. So to hoard. What does this mean?
Hoarding is like building up a collection mindlessly, and it's usually... it doesn't really have a purpose. In fact, it might be quite detrimental to you.
Yeah. So, when you imagine a person and then you go to the flat and the flat is like full of stuff. It's like rubbish and not rubbish and books and everything. Old stuff, new stuff, is everything specked. So this is a hoarder. So I'm a bit of a hoarder. If you just like keep collecting, accumulating stuff, and you don't throw anything away, so this is a little bit negative. But in a kind of a fun way, you can say, oh, hey, I'm a bit of a hoarder, so I have these stones. And also, dear listener, I have...
the shoes.
I have my collection.
I should say, this episode is about to become a vehicle for everyone to talk about what they do. So... Vanya wants us to talk about NFTs, and Maria wants us to talk about shoes. So what are we doing with the shoes?
No, the shoes is just like, I can't say that I hoard shoes. It's not just I have too many shoes. You can't have too many shoes, dear listener, even if they are all the same, but they're all different, You see like different colors, and but I can say, well, yeah, I'm a bit of a hoarder. Am I?
When it comes to shoes?
No, I don't think so. Does this make me...
How many pairs do you have?
I'm not sure.
Seek help.
Shoes, but I need more. I need more shoes, you see? It's not like... Yeah. Dear listener, please support me. Ladies, do you have shoes? Please support me.
Please support our various psychological problems.
You supported Rory, who gets up at an ungodly hour at 5:30, right? But please support me, so those who...
Yeah, I know. It is awful when people support positive decisions in your life, isn't it?
So any shoe lovers...
You can support Maria's shoe addiction by purchasing our premium. The link is in the description below. Or... just... yeah...
Just give me money so I can invest it in therapy, perhaps shoe therapy. If
Oh my God! Could we just finish the episode, please?
Yeah, Rory, you said the same thing when we were talking about shoes, and the episode was about shoes, and you said the same thing. Like, let's stop talking about it. No, we continue. We continue.
The link to the transcript of this episode is in the description below. Please leave your questions in the comments, like how do you maintain your sanity in this kind of working environment? And follow us on social media where you can ask the same questions as well. Share the video with people that need to see it. A licensed psychiatrist, perhaps. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye.